I never thought the wide-open skies of Montana could feel so claustrophobic, but that's what betrayal does. It squeezes the air out of everything you thought was solid. My name is Layla Thompson, and at 35, I've spent most of my life chasing independence, like a Mustang breaking free from the herd. I work as a paralegal in a small real estate firm in Billings, where the days are long but the nights are mine alone in my cozy cabin on the edge of town, with the Yellowstone River whispering secrets just beyond my window. For 16 years, I've been the invisible glue holding my family together, wiring money for emergencies without a second thought. When my stepmom Carla needed hip surgery after a fall from her horse, I covered the copay. When my half-sister Taylor missed her community college payments, I'd quietly transfer the funds. And Dad, Jack, when the ranch taxes piled up after a bad drought, who do you think stepped in? They never outright asked. It was always those heavy sighs over the phone, the subtle hints that tugged at my guilt like a lasso around my heart. Why did I do it? Deep down, I told myself it was love. The kind that's supposed to bind families in these vast western lands where neighbors are miles apart, but blood runs thick. But really, it was fear. Fear of being the one who let the fence break, the one who watched the herd scatter. I'd left the family ranch in rural Wyoming at 19, heading to Montana for college and never looking back. But those roots dug deep into my soul, pulling me under even from afar. The crack started on a crisp Tuesday afternoon. I was poring over land deeds at my desk when my phone lit up with a fraud alert. A credit card application in my name, approved, activated, already racking up $3,000. My hands went cold as I dialed the company, my mind racing like a storm over the plains. The billing address? Our old family ranch in Wyoming. The one where Dad, Carla, and Taylor still lived, scraping by on cattle sales and whatever side gigs Taylor chased. I pulled my credit report right there in the office, and it hit like a bucking bronco. 2 more cards, $10,000 total, all pointing back home. Beauty products, online shopping sprees, diner tabs, Taylor's fingerprints all over it. Inside, a whirlwind brewed. How could they? I'd given so much. Sacrificed weekends to work overtime just to keep them afloat. Was I nothing but a walking wallet? I didn't explode. That's not my way. Instead, I brewed coffee back in my cabin, spread out the evidence like a rancher mapping fence lines, screenshots, timelines, everything methodical. But beneath that calm, doubt gnawed at me. Had I enabled this? By always saying yes. Had I taught them to take without asking? The phone rang. Dad. Hey, darlin', his gravelly voice drawled, laced with that fake warmth before a favor. Carla's rustlin' up a family supper at Uncle Fred's place next Sunday. Taylor's got big news about startin' a little online store. We'd love you there. Big news. I stared at the statements, the charges screaming entitlement. I'll be there, I said, my voice steady as a rifle sight. He rambled on about Taylor finding her path. How proud they were. Proud? Of what? Her skill at forgery. After hanging up, I sat on my porch, the river's murmur mocking my turmoil. 16 years away. And still, they had me roped. They saw me as the successful one, the city girl with the steady job. But really, I was just distant enough to plunder, without consequence. Sunday dawned bright. The kind of Montana morning that promises redemption but delivers dust. I dressed sharp, jeans, boots, a button-up that said capable, not confrontational. The drive to Uncle Fred's spread outside Casper took hours, each mile stirring ghosts of childhood, riding fences with Dad. Carla's 4 smiles after Mom passed. Fred's place was classic Wyoming, sprawling ranch house. American flags snapping in the wind, all facade over fraying edges. I parked behind Taylor's shiny new pickup, one she couldn't afford on her waitress tips. Another red flag waving. Carla rushed out, hugging me like a long-lost calf, her embrace sticky with insincerity. "You look rodeo ready. Honey, work keeping you too busy?" Inside, the air thick with pot roast and ulterior motives. Dad lounged in Fred's old armchair, beer in hand, eyes on the game. He stood, hug quick and gruff. "Good to see ya, kid. Lookin' prosperous." That word stung like barbed wire, prosperous. Code for payable. Taylor slinked in from the kitchen, dressed down in faded Wranglers and a ponytail, playing the earnest dreamer. "Hey, sis," she grinned too wide. We sat at the scarred oak table, plates piled high, all performance. Fred cleared his throat. "So, Taylor, spill the beans on that business venture." She launched in, pitching an online Western wear shop, buzzwords like curated ranch style, projections on her phone. No mention of the stock bought on my dime. "Just needs seed money," she said, eyes pleading. 25 grand for inventory. Site. Ads. I cut my roast slow. "That's a chunk of change." Carla jumped in. "She's got spreadsheets. Real solid. Papers appeared, graphs. Competitors. All rehearsed." Dad nodded. Fred murmured approval. It was a setup, plain as day. "Impressive," I said. "But I don't mix kin and cash. Personal rule." The room chilled like a sudden norther. "Rule?" Carla's voice edged sharp. "Family don't need rules. Layla. We help each other. Like you helped after Mom died?" The thought boiled up, but I held it. Dad's eyes hardened. "We're talkin' Taylor's future here. Future, built on my ruins." I sipped water. "The one she's fundin' with my credit cards?" Taylor paled. "What are you? Applications from the ranch IP?" I continued coolly. "Deliveries here. Charges match your habits." Dad warned. "Layla." Carla teared up. "How could you accuse us?" "Not accusing," I said. "Standing. Stating facts." Taylor exploded. "You got everything, job. Cabin. Freedom. What's a few grand to you?" "It's theft," I shot back. "I've floated this family 50 grand over years." She sneered. "Charity crumbs. Making us beg." "Crumbs?" Laughter escaped. Bitter. I headed out, spotting a statement on Fred's table, my name, their address. Snap, photo evidence. Fred was in deep. Turning back, I said quiet. "Next Sunday. Same time. I'll say grace." The drive home was a storm in my head. Had I been blind? Or just hopeful? By Billings? I'd called a tech buddy, my lawyer, the bank. This wasn't ending with silence. The week blurred into a haze of investigation, each discovery a fresh wound in my chest. I met Mark, my IT guy from a past firm hack, at a quiet diner in Billings. Over black coffee. He unpacked the nightmare, not just cards, but utilities in my name, a phone plan with extras, even a ranch loan attempt blocked by my credit freeze. 2 years buildin', he said, timeline glaring. Testin' waters. Seein' what stuck. Total active fraud, $18,000. Attempted? Near $200,000. Inside. Rage mixed with sorrow. How long had they plotted while I wired help? Dad's voice echoed in my mind. Family sticks together. But this was carving me up like a side of beef. Who did what? Taylor sloppy with emails, The loan needed deeper docs, Dad or Fred, guardians of family papers. That night, with lawyer Sarah Ruiz in her office overlooking the rimrocks, we mapped it out. Federal crime, she said. Prosecution's easy with this. But family. What do you want? Layla? Justice. Yes. But more understanding. I wanted them to feel the void I'd carried. The weight of being the giver who gets gutted. Make MCM not endless, I whispered. Sarah nodded. Options, civil suit. Criminal charges. Restitution. Doubt plagued me. Was revenge worth shattering what's left? But then, memories flooded. Carla's gratitude calls always leading to more asks. Taylor's jealousy veiled as admiration. Dad's pride in my success feeling like ownership. I'd built my life to escape that pull, yet here it was, yanking harder. I filed fraud reports, froze everything, cut off transfers, the medical autopay, loans, bills. It hurt, like severing a limb, but necessary. And quietly, I set up a small trust for real emergencies, kids' education, no strings for them. A seed of hope amid the thorns. Calls started midweek. Dad's voicemails. Misunderstanding. Darlin'. Let's talk like kin. Carla sobbing. Cruel. After all we've been. Taylor's text cycled fury to please. Ruining me, then sorry. Desperate. I ignored them. Heart aching. Was I the monster now? No. Boundaries aren't cruelty. They're survival in these lonely lands. By Saturday. Evidence piled. Mark's presentation. Sarah's letters. Recordings. Wyoming one-party consent. Taylor admitting theft in a call. Dad calling me selfish. Carla guilting. Fred probing investment. And the pie. Grandma's cherry. The one Carla claimed postmom. A symbol of what they'd stolen beyond money. Heritage. Trust. Sunday. I arrived at Fred's with pie and portfolio. Resolve steel but soul turbulent. They waited in the living room like a posse. Tense. Carla reached for a hug. I dodged. Brought dessert. Dad looked worn. Glad you're here. Dinner was torture. Carla's favorites from my youth. Nostalgia weaponized. Taylor sulked in old ranch clothes. Victim mode. Fred pushed. Thought on Taylor's idea? After dessert, I said. Carla served the pie reverent. Your grandma's recipe, good times. Memories twist, I replied. We ate in silence. Tension coiling like a rattler. In the living room, Dad started. We're forgiven the accusations. Forgive me? Laughter cut sharp. For what? Carla. Misunderstanding. Taylor thought you offered help. I opened the portfolio. No misunderstanding, punto. Slides lit up. Statements. Timelines. Recordings. Taylor's voice echoed her admission. Faces drained. This is family, Dad pleaded. Not anymore, I said, voice cracking inside though steady out. Sarah's letter followed. Cease and desist. Criminal intent notice. Payback or face charges. Chaos erupted. Taylor wept. Didn't mean harm. Carla accused. Ungrateful after I raised you. Dad begged. Don't destroy us. Fred silent. Complicit. I stood. You destroyed trust. Restitution by month's end. No contact. Driving away. Tears blurred the highway. Had I gone too far? But no. The pain they felt mirrored mine. A necessary mirror. Weeks dragged. Checks trickled in. Restitution piecemeal. No contact held. But whispers reached. Taylor's venture stalled. Carla's bills mounted. Dad's ranch strained. Guilt whispered. Help them? But resolve held. Boundaries heal.
Then,
The call that upended everything. Attorney Janet Harlan. Ms. Thompson? Regarding Eleanor Hayes' estate. My maternal grandma. Dead decades. Or so I'd thought. She left you everything. $12 million. Shock froze me.
impossible.
She blamed Dad for Mom's death. She never blamed you. Watched from afar. Waited for you to break free. Inner storm raged. Watched while I suffered. But journals arrived. 30 years worth. Entries pierced. Warnings to Mom about Dad's greed. Plans to protect me. Leia's strong. She'll see the parasites. Parasites. The word echoed my pain. She'd known.
Prepared.
The inheritance hit like a Montana blizzard, blinding, transformative. But it wasn't the money that shook me. It was the validation. A ghostly hand on my shoulder saying, "You were right to fight." Eleanor's journals became my nightly ritual. Each page a revelation of a woman who'd loved fiercely, lost deeply. Her entry on Mom's wedding. She's blind to his schemes. But I'll guard the child. Mom's death from illness. Dad's quick remarriage to Carla. It all clicked. Eleanor had tried custody. But Dad's threats won. So she retreated to her Kansas spread. Wait. Kansas?
No.
Shift to Colorado for Westfield, her secluded ranch in Colorado Springs. Watching. Amassing wealth for the day I'd escape. Why hide? Emma. My cousin now, Emily. Explained in a call. She made me promise, let you find strength without a net. Emily had fled years ago. Similar fraud. She knew they'd drain you like they did me. Resentment flared. Why not warn me? But deeper. Gratitude bloomed. Someone saw me. Truly. Family learned fast. Public records don't lie. Flowers arrived. Roses. Mom's favorite. Carla's script. Thinkin' of your loss. Documented. Forwarded to Sarah. Taylor viewed my LinkedIn. A client called Trace to Fred. Subtle probes. Testing fences. Inside. Paranoia grew. Were they everywhere? Sarah. Harassment. We can tighten the order. Escalation hit. A lawyer's letter contesting Eleanor's will indirectly. Claiming influence. Janet laughed. Ironclad. Psych evals. Videos.
Plus.
Contest triggers charity donations in their names. Social media barrage. Taylor's posts on forgiveness. Greed rippin' kin apart. Carla's. Raised her as my own. Chose cash over love. Photos of me. Awkward at gatherings. Painting me villain. Dad's blog. Roots forgotten in success. Colleagues whispered. Boss checked in. Reputation under siege. Pain deepened, not just anger, but profound sorrow. How had love twisted so? Journals echoed. They'll circle like coyotes. Eleanor predicted this. I crafted response. A sight. Truth in the shadows. Evidence laid bare. Reports. Audios. Without venom. Just facts. Launched with a post. Since they've gone public. Here's the unvarnished truth. Viral in our circles. Sympathy shifted. Taylor's empire. Exposed as fraud built. Press calls came. I held a conference. Not destruction. Theft's the destroyer. Warning others. Love shouldn't cost your security. Announced Eleanor Hayes Foundation for Fraud Victims. $5 million seeded. Questions on reconciliation. Can't mend with takers. Protect yourself. Hope they learn. Legal backlash. Cease letters. Sarah. Truth defends. They backed off. Accounts vanished. Other stories surfaced. Emily's public now. Gassens, Dallas. Eleanor's foresight. I wasn't alone. The creditors called Sarah. Defaults mounting without my aid. Dad's job probed for fakes. Taylor's complaints piled. No glee, only ache. Had my stand pushed them to ruin? But journals urged, cut the rot to save the tree. Visiting Eleanor's Colorado ranch sealed it. Rooms of photos, mom vibrant, me as child. Final entry, Layla's free. Use this as wings, not weapons. Love true, not transactional. Tears flowed. She gave more than fortune, permission to thrive. Back in Billings, life steadied. Money eased burdens. But I stayed simple, cabin,
Job.
pie for friends. Family silent, barriers held. Emily's wedding invite came. I attended. Pie in hand, watching her joy. Best part? Lovin' without tally. Freedom's essence. Months deepened the wound, but healing crept in like spring thaw. The foundation launched, helping victims rebuild, counseling, legal aid, education on boundaries. Each story mirrored mine. Families as thieves. Love as leverage. It fueled me, but nights brought ghosts. Dreams of mom, whispering unheard warnings, Eleanor's voice in journals, strength in no. Guilt lingered. Did they suffer enough? Or too much? Reports trickled. Ranch auctioned. Carla in assisted living on state aid. Taylor in rehab for debts turn addiction. Dad drifting jobs. Pity stirred, clashing with resolve. Was humane to let them fall? A letter arrived, forwarded through Sarah, no direct contact. Dad's scrawl. Darlin', life's hard without you. Not a skin for money, just words. Miss my girl. Heart twisted. Miss me? Or my wallet? I didn't respond. But doubt bloomed. Could redemption exist? Emily called. They're reaching out to me too, sob stories. What did you say? Boundaries hold. But maybe supervised meet. The idea terrified, yet intrigued. Sarah advised. Neutral ground. Recorded. Legal present. Internal war raged. Revenge satisfied. But humanity whispered forgiveness, with safeguards. I agreed to a mediated session in Casper. Community center. Sarah and counselor there. Arriving. Nerves like wild horses. They filed in. Dad stooped. Carla frail. Taylor hollow-eyed. Fred absent.